What is happening, everybody? Hello and welcome back to Total Blast, where we discuss about everything Marvel in the MCU. Sony today unveiled the first official red band trailer for the upcoming film. Kraven the Hunter finally received the trailer ahead of its October 6th release date. Sony has released the first video from the latest Spiderman spin-off, revealing an original story of the animalistic bee game Hunter. According to the official red band trailer for Kraven the Hunter, this might be a standalone Spider-Man original narrative that brings the big buck for Sony Pictures after last year's unforgettable flop Morbius. And today, we're going to be doing a trailer breakdown, but first things first, if you're yet to see the trailer, big spoilers lie ahead, so just so you know, the film is rated R, and the trailer does not attempt to hide it all. But before we get into all of the gory details, don't forget that we're still giving out a brand new PlayStation 5 on this channel to one lucky subscriber. More on how to win at the end of this video. And if this is your first time, please subscribe and enable the post notifications so you don't miss out on subsequent videos. The trailer for Kraven the Hunter opens with a shirtless Sergei Kravinov, aka Kraven, played by Taylor Johnson in the US, using his heightened animalistic sense to track down his prey vehicles and chase it down. Then, we hear a voiceover in a thick Russian accent saying, "My son, never show mercy," which turns out to be his father's voice. Nikolai, played by Russell Crowe, indicates a flashback or memory during Sergei's younger years in Russia. They are prey. We are predators. Now, interestingly, his father is portrayed as a cold-hearted mafia boss with a strong resolve, one that is willing to let go of any weakness of any kind, including his late wife, who he gave up on. The same room applies to his children as well, with Kraven the Hunter switching to a safari scene where we see a young Sergei who is forced to kill the wild lion. Although Nikolai told him to shoot the beast, Sergei didn't, and understandably, the beast attacks him and bites on his shoulder, just as his father stands there and watches, assessing his son's so-called strength. The lion's bite was so deep that the tip remained in Sergei's chest. However, during the big tussle, Sergei managed to shoot the lion once, causing it to bleed out and have its blood mixed with its wound. And although he survived, Sergei was called weak like his mother by Nikolai, who left his son in the wild. And on that day, according to Sergei's word, he stared at death in the face, but for the first time, he saw his true self. And that's how Kraven the Hunter was born. Then, while this was playing as a voiceover, we see Kraven emerging out of the darkness with glowing eyes, akin to that of a cat or a tiger, depending on how you see it. And now, one thing I love about the lion fight scene is that there's a hint of some mutant effect, with a fully grown Sergei starting to hunt down and bring down his father's evil empire. Interestingly, not only are his senses and movements similar to those of an animal, but he can form a connection with other wild beasts to exact his task, such as ordering a pack of wolves to attack his enemies. Also treated to some very gory combat as Kraven the Hunter leaps onto a truck, stabs his foe with an animal sharp tooth before biting off his nose, just as we saw briefly in the first tease. Then, we hear a female voice saying, "Why do you hunt?" And the voice belongs to none other than the voodoo priestess Calypso, played by Ariana DeBose. So, as he says this, we see that Kraven makes his way into the forest to hunt down all of the guards before making his way to his father. However, he's not the only villain in Kraven's way. There's a foreigner played by Christopher Abbott, a mercenary who wants to hunt down big game. Then, we hear one of the foreigner's closet henchmen say, "There is an animal in each of us," as he injects a mysterious serum into himself, causing his skin to transform into dark grey, resembling that of Rhino. Interestingly, do you know many trailers tend to show some surprise scene after they pick the movie's title? Well, this trailer is no different. The trailer's last scene depicts Alexander Nivola, who was cast for the movie in an undisclosed villain role, and now we know which villain he'll play. From the trailer, we see that Nivola will play Rhino. And from the looks of things, it seemed that he and Kraven might be some sort of allies. And unlike previous movies in Sony's Spider-Man universe, which depict their titular character as anti-heroes, this movie shifts more into the area where the titular characters are the villains. And if we're going to get some team up with Kraven and Rhino, then this is going to be the movie of the year. Now, the rest of the trailer shows where Kraven has his list of people he's planning to eliminate. From the looks of things, one of the antagonists in the movie is going to be his father. And we also meet Ariana DeBose Calypso, a voodoo priestess and Kraven's love interest, who calls him a lunatic, to which he replies, "You just figured that out now?" The trailer also provided a quick glimpse of Fred Hetchinger, who portrays Kraven's half-brother, Dmitry Semediakov, also known as Chameleon, which to me is very exciting. If you didn't know, Kraven the Hunter is Sony's first R-rated superhero film. Although Kraven's story appears to be basic and predictable, at least according to the trailer. We could be wrong. This film has one advantage prior to other films that the franchise did not have. We won't lie. Kraven Wild Beast movement reminds of a Jared Leto Swift movement in Morbius, and for all we know, that didn't work out. Kraven is portrayed as a vengeful human-beast hybrid who uses his affinity for animals to track down his prey. The trailer depicts how he hunts his opponent using wolves in the middle of the snowfall and evil men using the falcon. When we see him attacking his enemies like a true beast, The movie uses all the advantages of an R rating. At some point, we even see Kraven biting off one guy's nose. And this is a subtle reminder. Just don't bring the kids out for this one. It appears that the studio got its money worth for Kraven's R rating, with at least a dozen henchmen savagely dispatched in the teaser alone. Throats have been slit, noses have been bitten off, torsos have been impaled, and one man had his head trapped in a bear trap. And if this is merely a sample of what's to come, then the final corpse count will certainly be comparable to that of a chapter of John Wick. Furthermore, there's some stuff about Kraven played by Anthony Johnson battling his vicious crime lord father played by Russell Crowe, flashes of the voodoo priestess Calypso played by Ariana DeBose, and a brief indication of a more animalistic nemesis, Rhino, also a spider antagonist. It's apparent that the main focus is on Spider-Man. Sony's Spider-Man universe minus Spider-Man has created 3 films and grossed over 1.5 billion worldwide since it began with Venom in 2018. Although none of those films have received favorable critical reviews, both Venom films performed well commercially in contrast to the most recent entry, Morbius, which was a critical commercial flop. Sony continues to struggle with their live-action franchise except for Spider-Man films co-produced with Marvel Studios. Sony has only been attempting to reconstruct their cinematic world since Tom Holland's Spider-Man joined the MCU, showcasing solely the villains associated with Spider-Man but represented as anti-heroes. Kraven the Hunter is the third of such characters to end his film, following Venom and Morbius. And Kraven's debut film, like Venom and Morbius, will tell the origin story. And for a film in its genre, it's rather formalized. Similar to which Kravenok was the original title character before he became Kraven. First section of the trailer tells us about his origin story and how he came to be who he is now. Kraven the Hunter, born Sergei Kravenov, is a well-known adversary of Spider-Man. He was born into a Russian aristocrat family and grew up in a wealthy environment. Kraven possesses peak human strength, speed, agility, and senses due to his mystical serum he developed called the Jungle Formula. This formula enhances his abilities, making him a formidable opponent. Kraven is distinguished by his extraordinary hunting skills, which he often employs to track and capture dangerous prey, including animal and superhumans. He has an exceptional understanding of animal behavior and utilizes various weapons and gadgets, such as his trademark lion head spear, to aid him in his hunt. One of Kraven's most notable storylines is the Kraven's Last Hunt hack, which took place in the Amazing Spider-Man comics in the 1987 issue. In this storyline, Kraven goes to an extreme length to prove himself as a superior hunter by defeating and ultimately killing Spider-Man. It is a dark and psychologically intense narrative that explores Kraven's obsession and his desire to surpass his perceived prey. Kraven the Hunter has also been a member of a vicious supervillain team, such as the Sinister Six and the Savage Six. Throughout his comic book history, he has clashed with Spider-Man and other heroes in the Marvel Universe, unleashing his lasting impact in their stories. Kraven the Hunter is directed by J.C. Chandor from the screenplay written by Ak Matum, Mac Holloway, and Richard Wang. The movie is set to be released on October 6th of 2023. Only 2 weeks after that, we'll meet Kraven the Hunter again in the upcoming video game Spider-Man 2, which was developed by Insomniac Games exclusively for PlayStation 5. And that concludes all of the gossip for today. But before we go, don't forget that we're still giving out a brand new PlayStation 5 on this channel to one lucky subscriber once we reach a milestone of 1,000 subscribers. And all you have to do to win is watch our videos, subscribe, turn on post notifications, like, and comment. And one lucky subscriber will be chosen from the comment section to win our brand new PlayStation 5. Also, want to say thank you to everyone who has ever supported us this far. We truly appreciate it. What are your thoughts on this video? And what do you think about the new Kraven the Hunter trailer? Please don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest Marvel news. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope to see you in the next one.